On this week's episode of What's the Deal, I'm joined by my friend and owner of Inside Realty, Firuz.
I believe it to be a misconception. People think that the market slows down and, because of the summer, nobody wants to come here. But we've had transactions, and when you look at the number of transactions that happens on the market, it's insane.
We are currently situated in one of the most luxurious and fully upgraded villas here in Jumeirah Golf Estates, which is currently listed with our specialist, Ben Bates. There's a huge amount of Brits.
Yeah.
Up here.
Very good. I love Jumeirah Golf.
I love it. Hello and welcome back to another episode of What's the Deal? My name is Jack from Edwards & Towers, and today I am joined with Firuz, an ex-colleague of mine. We've known each other for about 4 years.
Yeah, pretty much.
Firuz owns a very successful real estate company out here, predominantly focused on the off-plan market. However, today I've invited him along to one of our villas we have for sale in Jumeirah Golf Estates, which is in the Sundials sub-community. It is nearly a 10,000 square foot villa, fully renovated and on the market at the moment. And it's sat on a 14,000 square foot plot. So, Firuz.
Hey, Jack.
How you
doing?
doing?
To see you. Very good. How you doing?
Very well, very well. Obviously, you set up a company after our days with a big brokerage firm out here. You tell me how the market's been going for you at the moment.
It's pretty well. The market has a tendency to sort of slow down in the summers. This is, I think, I believe it to be a misconception. People think that the market slows down and, because of the summer, nobody wants to come here. But we've had transactions, and when you look at the number of transactions that happens on the market, it's insane. Like any launch you go to, it's full of people. Any new hot projects, very difficult to get a unit.
Yep.
So sales are happening, market is going. So we're pretty happy with what's going on.
Good. Well, look.
Yeah.
I saw a statistic yesterday, which I'm obviously educating my investors and clients around me at the moment that want to enter the market, but
Yeah.
you've also got to tread quite carefully. The statistic that I saw yesterday was that there's 290,000 units currently under construction here in Dubai.
Yeah.
With a population growth of around 50,000 a year as per the Dubai government.
Yeah.
The assumption that 50,000 people buying or renting these types of properties is probably a little bit misleading.
Yeah.
A lot of obviously blue collar workers here that are part of that number. So we're due in 2027, 2028, probably a lot of stock coming onto the market. We're quite lucky being in Jumeirah Golf Estates. So Edwards & Towers, we have an office in Marina, Palm, and also Jumeirah Golf Estates. We've seen a lot of change in the market. We've gone through this first cycle where older properties, which weren't to a high spec or the quality was suffering somewhat, independent developers have come in, like the property that we're at the moment, and kind of taken that and renovated it, and that's now on the market to, should we say, more of a European clientele.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you were predominantly off-plan focused, right?
At the moment, yes, but we're also building up the secondary team. I'm actually handling the progress. I've just started. I started piling up all the stock that we have in the company, and surprisingly, we have over $1 billion dirhams worth of inventory just sitting at our hands right now. And I think in terms of the stock that's about to hit the market, in certain areas, that's probably going to affect the whole picture, maybe in a slight negative way. But overall, I'm still pretty optimistic. I think when you look at the total number of good properties, I would say properties, because the new projects that are coming in to the market right now, they offer better facilities, better amenities, and overall they're just better in terms of lifestyle that they offer. So I think there's going to be a shift from all these old buildings and old villas and old properties to new ones. So when we think about the increase in population, I think we also should consider that the internal market that is already here would create demand for those new properties that are coming into the market.
Yeah, I agree completely. Look, when you're a property investor, there's a couple of avenues that you can go down, right? You can You can buy off plan at the right time. So anybody's scooping up deals in 2020, 2021 are probably doing okay now.
I'm sure.
There's the classic, ready properties, which you can just buy, get a tenant in annual basis or even short term. And then there's the guys that scooped up those properties that were quite dilapidated and had a lot of deferred maintenance issues, which they were buying at a more affordable price, spending 500,000-600,000 dirhams on an affordable townhouse, and then putting them onto the market. Now, where we are at the moment in Jumeirah Golf Estates, the community offering is very much appealing to the Europeans.
Yes.
There's a huge amount of Brits up here.
They love Jumeirah Golf.
They love it. They can drive their golf buggy to the pub.
And perfect lifestyle.
and obviously we're situated right next to a world-renowned championship
golf course. Yeah, DP World Finals happen here, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah, so which is a great weekend. But Jumeirah Golf Estates, originally when it launched, it's obviously an Al Wasl development. The plan was to actually have 4 golf courses up here, but there's only 2 that have been finished. And I mean, Al Wasl, when it launched, I can remember that the whole community was actually ran off generators. Do you know that?
No.
So they didn't actually have the infrastructure in place to service the...
Hold on, so they delivered houses, but they didn't have... Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, environmentally wise, it wasn't the best. But obviously, fast forward and fast track now, we've seen a lot of these properties go under this renovation, and anybody moving over to Dubai. So in the UK in particular, the Brits, we've just gone through the elections. So Labour have just got in. There's rumours that the tax implications in the UK isn't exactly very beneficial for anybody there at the moment. And I was having this conversation with a client this morning. We were fast-tracked through COVID to change all of our mindsets of, okay, it's a lockdown, I can't leave my house, but I still need to continue to make money. And a lot of people's businesses changed and evolved and so that they could do it remotely. And that led to then, after that, being like, well, hang on a minute, I don't need to go to the office. I don't need to be present. The tax situation in the UK is pretty dire. It's only going to get worse with this government. And so let's move to Dubai. And it's these kind of properties that we've seen which really are more appealing to those moving over. In terms of the quality and the finish, the building regs in the UK, we have a standard in the UK. Over in Dubai, we don't.
I know what you're talking about.
And people are becoming a little bit more aware of that. That's why a lot of the fit out firms and the renovation companies here who do the best job are British Ram. So look, I mean, in terms of the outlook for the future, we've gone through a pretty aggressive property cycle here over the last 3 years. Prices have gone through the roof. The margins for these independent developers now buying properties that need a renovation, it doesn't really quite make sense for a margin gain. Previously, they were operating at around a 20-25%, which is normal. But now the asking prices for some of these properties, that it just eats.
They're just profits.
But yeah, I mean, look, the secondary market in particular, unless you're if you're a family, Jumeirah Golf Estates is absolutely fantastic.
It is.
You've got obviously all of those amenities that I discussed. You get a golf course. Or the clubhouse membership service charge.
It's mandatory, right? Or I mean, you have to buy it. So
but I mean, when we started working together, do you remember the hillside villas?
Oh yeah, of course. So it was. I used to call it MTV Crib.
Yeah,
right.
It was
because it was like that proper MTV Crib style house, and I really I had a client that wanted to buy a villa there, and he was just like. I get a bit too greedy negotiating it, and it was a matter of, I don't know, maybe 1 million dirhams. And then he didn't go for it. He regrets it very much now because they were going for 23 million at the time.
And the deals they had fully furnished.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to put it in perspective, Hillside was a group of 20 ultra luxury villas here in Jumeirah Golf Estates, right next to the golf course clubhouse. And when you entered, you drive down into the basement, park your car. Similar kind of setup to this, where you have a basement suite, but there they had, what did they have down there? They
had like a huge bike
motorbike.
Yeah. It was nice. It was just like standing in the window.
Table.
And it was a pool table, a cinema, and it was like the whole basement was, I think, at least, like 3,000-4,000 square feet.
Yeah.
So
It was just like an underground bar.
exactly. Yeah. Or
Private bar. Yeah, you can have parties. But they were an absolute steal. They're now transacting, or they're on the market, some of them for about 42,
44. Yeah, so it's like double, basically.
Yeah, and obviously that drives up the prices of JG, and you can see the capital appreciation there. Have you missed the boat in Jumeirah Golf Estates? I don't know.
Well, I also can't really say that you have, because it's a community that offers the type of lifestyle that isn't really available. My first time when I came to Jumeirah Golf Estates, I think it was about 7 years ago, I was shocked. I was really impressed because, it's like the architecture and the greenery and everything else. You really do feel like you're out of Dubai.
Yeah.
Like you're somewhere in, I don't know,
Europe.
It's like Costa Brava, Spain. Yeah, exactly.
Portugal.
Yeah, or Portugal. So I think there isn't really many new villa communities the newer villa communities that are coming up right now, perhaps they could offer better facilities in some way, but location-wise, they're just further away towards the desert.
Yeah.
And I think for Jumeirah Golf Estates, it's just very conveniently located. You're very close to the marina side of town, like the Palm and all of that. And also, there isn't really much new projects coming up, right?
Yeah.
The second half of it, because I think Wassel was supposed to launch the second part of Jumeirah Golf Estates, but they sold off this land now.
Yeah. So Arada, right?
So Arada has Jury Hills, but they sold the whole chunk of it because it was a huge piece of land. And I believe Imar's Oasis is now coming up.
Yeah, just behind.
Yeah, so this was supposed to be the second part of Jumeirah Golf Estates.
Yeah. So we'll touch on that. The immediate surroundings. Next door to JGE is obviously a community which I'm hugely fond of, which is Talal Al Gaf.
Oh yeah.
What they've done there, Majid Al Futtaim, for their first master community is brilliant.
It's brilliant.
And obviously with the investors that I'm talking to at the moment that are looking for an off-plan project, the only one really that's making much sense to me is the next one. Is Gaff Woods.
Yeah, Gaff Woods. Okay. Yeah. It was a huge sensation, and they've launched how many? 600 apartments.
Yeah, just under 550, I think.
Yeah.
The first two phases.
And they sold them off like
2 days.
They did less than that.
Yeah.
They had more expressions of interest than the amount of units that were about to hit the market.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, what I really didn't like though was the fact that they've collected these EOIs, and in the end they said no, it's first come first serve.
Yeah.
So that was a bit.
Yeah. But hey, I think it's a great project.
It definitely is. Yeah,
it's testament to what they've done in Talal Al Gaf in terms of the quality and what's handed over there. The guys that scooped those up in 2020, 2021 have made an absolute fortune. Life-changing amounts of capital appreciation.
For sure.
And Gaff Woods, for me, because it's priced at around 1,600 a square foot, it still makes sense.
I think you could compare it to Al Barari, right? Because it's pretty much at the same location. The concept is very similar.
Yeah.
They claim it to be even more greener, and it's supposed to be like a real forest. And in Al Barari, currently prices 2,500 per square foot for some of the apartments.
Yeah.
So that gap is there for them to appreciate. And then with inflation and prices like overall going up on the market, I'm not sure what's going to happen there, but 100%.
Yeah, and as I say to all my clients, as an advisory level, if you're buying from Emaar now, doesn't make sense. You're buying. I saw the launch happened. I think it was last week or the week before. It was in Dubai Creek Harbour.
Yeah.
2029 completion date.
90-10 payment plan.
90% during construction.
Yeah.
And you're leaving yourself wide open there, because if there is a pullback, you're in a hole.
Yeah.
Whereas you can buy now on the ready market in Dubai Hills Estate, same.
Yeah.
It's 2,000 dirhams a square foot on the park.
Yeah.
So why take that risk?
Exactly. I totally agree.
Okay, so look, we're gonna have a little tour of the villa now, show you why this is such a special and unique offering. The independent developer has done 3 villas in this street. This one is finished on the market, and we also have next door available as well, which should be ready in the next 3 or 4 months. So look, Firuz, great catching up.
Yeah.
It's
nice
good to see you.
Right.
And thank you for watching another episode of What's the Deal, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week for another one. Take care.